All right, all right. So I'm back again with, another special guest, Elder Zahar, and just talking about this governmental construct that that is being created amongst Hebrew Israelites. You were elder in the Hebrew Israelite community, and we was once in the same organization before, work with similar brothers like Brother Ra'ad, and different brothers, we work with when it comes to things now. But when it comes to building this governmental construct, building this coalition, you know, that we need amongst Hebrew Israelites, we're gonna get into these questions about it. But first, introduce yourself to the people, to the viewers. Let them know who you is, Elder Zahar.
I am Elder Zahar Baruch Yasharala. I am a Hebrew. I am one of the kings of Israel, not the king of Israel, but one of the kings of Israel. I'm a nationalistic Hebrew, a part of the melanated political party, understanding that the Most High's kingdom is going to be a kingdom of righteousness of all melanated people. I've been a standing Hebrew for since 1980. 87, right there about. I was introduced to being a Hebrew, but I've studied them all. I studied Islam. I was a Rasta for 25, almost 30 years, and then a teaching Hebrew for the last 25 until about the last 10 years. Then I became nationalistic in everything that we're doing, understanding that the kingdom has to be built. The throne of David has to be rebuilt and the kingdom of the Most High is going to be rebuilt here on earth. So I'm working with different brothers that are a part of the melanated political party. I'm trying to pull as many brothers and sisters as we can into the melanated political party. And that's about it thus far, brother. We're willing to work with any and all to restore the King David throne because the King David throne has to be rebuilt.
Definitely.
A lot of our brothers and sisters don't understand the significance of the King David throne being rebuilt because with the King David throne being rebuilt, that's the righteous authority in the earth. Right now, we have masqueraders and pretenders showing us their kingship, but the Most High's kingship isn't truly ruling the earth. And that's what the heaven on earth is all about. So before I go into any more of that, dear brother, I just wanted to share that with you, and we can go ahead and move forward.
Definitely, man. Very important information that you're saying. And the melanated political party, I believe, yeah, definitely, help work towards building this, this government, this construct that we need as a nation, as conscious, Hebrew Israelites, just melanated, like you said, just melanated people that's with a consciousness on, wanting to build something that we can call ours when it comes to our own world, our own government, coalition, network system that need to be created. So let me jump right into this question. Do you see prophecy being fulfilled with us as Hebrew Israelites uniting together as a nation? Do you see it being fulfilled in today's time?
Yes, sir, brother. I do see it being fulfilled, but I'm a little bit different in that I don't see it being fulfilled from a religious aspect. I feel that it's being revealed through a physical, through the Most High choosing a one and giving the one the information to wake up the saints the fellow workers, and we build the Most High's kingdom here. I don't see it being fulfilled from a religious aspect that we've all been given when our original scrolls were stolen from us and then redisseminated to us in religious form, be it Torah, be it Bible, be it Quran, be it anything referring to the Creator. They gave us religious dogma, meaning traditions and philosophies that we all tend to follow, thinking that heaven's going to land on earth on top of our heads. No, we have to be active builders of it. You understand? As opposed to praying, worshiping, uh, and those type of things, which are all good. You understand? And I'm not knocking that. But again, that goes into religion, and I'm not for standing and waiting as our forefathers did for something to land on us. We have to actively build it today. Take take the scriptures say that the Creator has given us all things that we need. Heaven is within us. So let's start building upon that. So yeah, I do feel that it's going to be revealed. The Most High is doing the work, but
Mhm.
it's just not going to be done in the way religion gave it to us. Go ahead, brother.
No, I got you. Nah, real talk. I mean, that answer is, you know, well, well respected and well educated because they have to understand that we think that, you know, it's gonna happen some miraculous way. You know, we have to actually put our hands to the plow, and build this kingdom, and really build a coalition amongst us, build our own diplomats, what we want to call it. We can call it something different. Build our own ambassadors, build our own representatives, build our own, for the lack of words, our own government. And it's going to happen by us actually, putting our hands towards the plow, working towards that, doing that, getting these lands before we even get the lands and get all these different things and going to farming with each other. We first have to, create a system to where that we all, are working, networking together, in a unified way, even with our different, collectively communities. We work together collectively with our differences, with our different communities, and we show that unisys. We show that governmental structure. If the Chinese can do it, we can do it. You know, we didn't did it before. Let me ask you this. In your opinion, why is it so hard for us to create our own governmental body as Hebrew Israelites? Like what's holding us back? What's holding us back?
Well, what's holding us back is the fact that religion teaches us individualism, and individual teaches us man worship. Man worship teaches us every man wants to be on top. And that's what I've been seeing in the last 10 years as a nationalistic Hebrew. It's been difficult for me to get Hebrew leaders to come together because they feel as though it's just like our Christian brothers or any of our other religious brothers and sisters. If you don't believe in the ways that I believe or on this wise, then I can't work with you. I can't build with you. You're going to take my membership. So it's all vainglorious and men and vanitizing and vanitizing themselves and making it difficult for us to come together as a nation.
Okay. So these leaders with their pride who don't they don't want to work together, everybody they want to do it their way instead of doing the way that we know, the practical way, which is we all have the same issue overall. We have the same enemy. you know we got the same, political issues, majorities have the same political issues, same economical issues as a nation, you know, the same educational issues as a nation. We want to control our children's education. The same thing, just us being oppressed, and you know, being the tail, not the head when it comes to society as a whole. We have those things in common. So what we need to do, work together, and we'll be able to reverse the role of that, within the world, with us collectively, being together with this. But like you said, a lot of leaders, they got their own, pride, personal agenda. They don't want to switch it up. They don't want to do that. Like you said, they think they're gonna lose their congregation. It ain't about losing your congregation. It's about working. It's supposed to be leaders. When we read Zechariah, we're forming a government. Zechariah telling you that he's gonna appoint different leaders, and these different leaders gonna have their own congregation, their own communities, their own thing going on. We just gonna be working together for a common goal. Let me ask you this. Now, what's the first thing we have to do to become a unified nation, a light to the Gentiles? Like, what's some of the things we have to do amongst Hebrew Israelites?
Well, honestly, dear brother, we have to, how can I put it? The Most High is going to, let's go through scriptures a little bit. Let's look at this. Anytime we look at scriptures, and it's all from my understanding, I no longer ascribe to part of it's historical, part of it's uh, futuristic, and part of it's now. It's all symbolic, parabolic language inspired by the creator given to men in visions and dreams to write down those visions and dreams for the end time. So it's all end time prophecy for me. Okay. That being said, with it all being end time prophecy for me, we have to understand that throughout scripture, the Father, in his parabolic, symbolic language that was given to us, he always chose the one, meaning Noah. He didn't tell everybody what he told Noah. He told Noah, and Noah did it to convince the people. They weren't convinced. They didn't believe, but he chose Noah. Same thing with Moses. He didn't tell everybody what he told Moses. He told Moses. He chose Moses to go to Pharaoh and speak on behalf of the children, speak on behalf of him. With all the stories, even with the stories of Mashiach, he didn't tell everybody what he was going to do with the Mashiach. He told the Mashiach, and Mashiach went and executed what he gave him the vision and the download to do. So throughout the scriptures, he chooses the one, and then that one speaks to those that will follow, and those become the fellow workers. Those become the ones that work with him. But not everyone, you understand, not everyone who hears or sees that one will agree upon that one or follow that one. But we have that example throughout the scripture. So it's going to be the same way this time. He's going to choose that one from amongst his brethren. He's not going to be better than you and I, but he's going to be the one that he chooses. And those with the spirit that he's given the spirit from birth to hear that one, they're going to be the ones that build his kingdom. And then all those who don't bear witness of that one and are not fellow workers of the kingdom, like you said, we're going to have generals, we're going to have, there's many mansions in the kingdom of the Most High. Those that don't heed that one, when he's lifted up, that one, that the fellow workers can hear and see and verify, and they are working with him to build this kingdom, then when he's lifted up, all eyes shall see. So we got to find that one, brother.
Yeah,
We
right
got to
on.
find that one that the Most High chooses and put ego aside. Because we
Hmm.
got to remember, he's going to be just like you and I. Only difference is he's going to be the one with the message, the undefilable true message. And we're going to work and we're going to build this kingdom here right now. So that's what I encourage the brothers and sisters to do, is to put ego aside. Let's find that one. Let's get behind that message. Let's rebuild the King David throne. Brother, don't you want to live in a world that the Most High said he gave to us, where we can go into the store, every man get according to his need? Now, whatever you get on top of that, that's your own hustle. That's your own
Hmm.
ingenuity. You understand what I'm saying? But education is free. Healthcare is free. Our children, we don't have to go into the store and worry about our children getting GMO food. That's heaven on earth, brother. That's what I want to work for. I'm almost 60. And these last years that the Creator gives me, that's what I'm working for. I'm not fighting the fight that my father fought, my grandfather fought, his father fought. You understand? Or where I'm burdened by, where I'm burdened where I'm burdened by religion as I wait, and my children are fed poison and kidnapped and murdered. And we can't have no unity. I can't do that no more, brother. So go ahead. I hope that's what I understand. Give you a synopsis of where I'm at with it at this point in time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, no, that definitely. I mean, we got to be able to hear the ones that the Most High is choosing, to formulate this thing, to bring this thing together. And it's going to take a lot of us to just start working together, and then seeing the spirit in each other and be like, okay, we understand where this direction is going, and it's really just us, Because when I look at this thing, it's like, you know, all of us are the one. If we really, magnify and walk the way we're supposed to walk according to how this thing really is, because it's not about religion. Like you mentioned earlier, it's not about religion. You know what I'm saying? We living in practical, real lives. We got to do real, everyday stuff so we can eat. We got to do everyday stuff so we can be able to take care of our families. We got to do everyday stuff so we can be able to take care of ourselves. We got to do everyday stuff, so we be able to operate in this society that we in. So if that's the case, then we should take our understanding that we have mutually with each other and create our own society, to where now we don't, we're less oppressed. Now we're less oppressed in our society to where, yeah, we still have to work to be able to function our society, to get, it's going to be working to do with crops. It's farming going on. People work with that. There's a lot of things going on. People, whatever you have to do to sustain yourself, works come with that. So I'd rather work for us. We should rather work for ourselves than to work for a society that has no good for us and our children. And so I believe all of us can be, that and then one, because we are Messianic. And I believe that, God does, present, different Messianic figures, leading Messianic figures throughout dispensation of times, and that's important for us to understand because our whole understanding of a Messiah has been so diluted because of religion, because of Greco-Roman understanding, so people, some people waiting on, Yeshua or Yeshua, to return, and they be like, "Oh, we gotta wait till the Messiah to return before we start, gathering it together as a nation." That's, we looking at things backwards, like I said, looking at things from an ideology standpoint when we need to look at things as reality in a practical standpoint, because things is not gonna happen unless we make it happen. The children of Israel, they didn't leave Egypt until they actually left Egypt. They was wishing to leave Egypt a long time ago, but they had to actually get up, and Moses had to tell them, look, we need to get up, we gotta leave. We have to do this, and then actually start planning towards doing that, So it's really just like you said earlier, it's us just getting active in this thing, getting active because we got the continuity, we got the mindset. We supposed to be the specialist people on the face of this earth, So why can't we create our own government, that can be seen upon the world, that can be a light to the other governments? We should be able to do that, you know. Let me ask you this last question right here. What type of brothers and sisters do we need to represent our united coalition, our unified coalition construct? What type of brothers and sisters do we need to represent that?
Um, the number one thing that we need is brothers and sisters, moms and dads that are righteous, not religion, righteous. In all things be righteous. The scriptures are clear. Treat your brother the way you want to be treated. You don't need law, statutes, and commandments to tell you that. You don't need somebody standing up every Shabbat, every Sunday, every Juma, every whatever it is you're dealing with, trying to tell you how to conduct yourself. Righteousness in all things, giving thanks in all things, loving your brother in all things. So that's the first thing that we need. We don't need somebody, a Torah thumper, a Quran thumper, a Bible thumper, some self-righteous individual telling us what the Creator wants us to do. All the Creator wants you to do is righteousness, to live righteous and be righteous, because we learned that from birth. I didn't need nobody to tell me if my mother's purse was laying on the table and a 10 was laying there and two fives and a few ones were sticking out. I didn't need to be taught not to go stick my hand in my mother's purse. I knew that. You know that when you treat someone unfairly, you know how you feel. You don't want to be treated like that. So that's righteousness. So let's be righteous in all things that we do. and then be willing to touch and agree. Don't be so dogmatic in what you've been taught, because what we've all been taught, we've all inherited lies. So it's going to take a new thing that the Creator brings forth to get us out of religion, all of us. So don't be so dogmatic and pragmatic in what you've been taught that you can't work with a brother or a sister, touch and agree where you agree. Touch and agree where you agree, and then allow the spirit of truth and the spirit of the Most High to resolve all issues. But see, what ends up happening is we'll draw a line on where we disagree, where I don't see things doctorial or understanding wise with my brother. So I'll stand on that and I'll say, well, yeah, you do have some tenets or some understandings that I can agree with, but because I don't agree with this, I can't walk with you. That's cultism to me.
Mm,
You
hmm
understand? That's cultism, because how can we two walk agree? We don't have to agree on everything, but if we touch and agree on something, allow the Holy Spirit to resolve those things that we don't agree upon, then that's movement.
hmm
Anything else, you stuck on yourself. So those are the things that I try to enact as I move upon this journey to build the Most High Kingdom, rebuild the King David throne, the righteous throne that should be governing this earth, the righteous throne again that should be governing this earth. He's not, the Creator is not gonna give a throne to every Tom, Dick, and Harry religion
hmm
and those factions within the religion. Okay, so He's supposed to give us the kingdom of hands, the kingdom of the Most High, supposed to be given to the Messianics, or just the law camps, or just this version of the law camp, or this version of the Hebrew camp, or He's supposed to give it to the Christians, and this version of the Christians, the apostolics, the Baptists, the whatever. Or he's supposed to give it to the Muslims and give it to the Sunnis, give it to the Shiites, give it to the Nation of Islam. Man, man, that's foolishness, bro. And that's what religion got everybody thinking, that the creator's going to slice it all and give everybody a piece of it. And it's going to be a heaven for everybody. Or you got to convince everybody to come your way. Not going to work like that. Not the way we was given, dear brother. So I rest right there. Go ahead.
No, that's right on, man. We need representative righteous representatives, to represent this thing, and it done we don't like I said we don't need people to be Bible thumpers and Torah thumpers and quote unquote Jesus thumpers, you know what I'm saying? Yeshua thumpers and all like to try to force everything on everybody, force your ideology on everybody, you know, um to build a kingdom, is way more than just ideology or what, doctrine. It takes, like what we need governmental, a structure. That's what it takes to build a kingdom, a government, a nation. You know, I'm sure when we exit out of Egypt, we didn't agree on everything. I'm sure when we decided we wanted a king to rule over us. I'm sure we didn't agree on everything when we had judges before we had a king. I'm sure we didn't agree on everything, but what we did agree on, that we was a nation, and that right there, kept us being what we've been, when you read about the scriptures, even when we was going through our different exiles and our different, captivities, you know, us being a nation was always something that we agreed upon, even with our differences. And that's how we need to focus on that. Focus on nation building. Focus on, what we need amongst each other to be recognized as a nation, so we can get back in this ball game so the table can turn. And like you said, the lineage of David will be ruling, will be ruling. We'll be, righteousness ruling this earth, the right way. And it's interesting you mentioned because the Ten Commandments, that's like universal law, really. Honor that mother, honor that father. These things like we don't. we don't need the whole statues and all those. I mean, those are good for culture. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we're gonna work together, everybody not gonna agree on certain statues. Everybody not gonna agree on certain um certain things that's within the Torah and how we should follow it. But what we do want to agree on is those universal laws, is those 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. I mean, thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not murder, honor thy mother, honor thy father, the Sabbath, even regardless if somebody believes the Sabbath is on the fifth day of the week because they following the moon. Honor your Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like the universal laws, I believe we can all agree upon, which is those 10 commandments. Everything else, each community can do how they've been doing. You know, we just forming this government, and this government, the 10 Commandments, is what's allowing us, to unite on principle, when it comes to things, treating our brothers, you know, loving our brothers and sisters within this thing that we're creating, But yeah, and it was a blessing, man, to have you, Elder Zahar. Anything you want to say to the people before we dip out?
No, sir, brother. I just applaud you and I applaud your efforts at trying to unify the Most High's people and bring forth a righteous government here on the earth. And any way in which we can help you, please reach out. I got some younger brothers I want to introduce you to at some point, and that I'm working with. And man, the Most High Kingdom's gonna be built, bro, here on earth. And I'm proud and happy to know young brothers like yourself are standing on it. And I'll be visiting Tanzania January or February. I'll let you know, and hopefully we
Okay.
can try to link up either there or Kenya or somewhere when I get over there.
Okay,
All right.
cool. Yeah, definitely. We be over there. You know what I'm saying? You can come to Israel too. 'Cause right now, I'm in Israel right now, but definitely be back over there in East Africa, soon. But yeah, man, bring them on to the meeting. The brothers you were just talking, bring them on to the meeting that we're gonna have on September 14th. Bring them on to the meeting because we're gonna put this thing together.
Yeah, please remind me, send me an invite again and send me a text message as to the date so I can share it with the brothers.
Gotcha.
And we'll come on, man, and see if we can have a meeting of the minds and touch and agree where we can't agree so that we can bring forth the ushering in of the Most High Kingdom. All right?
Definitely, man. Shalom. Have a good one. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Peace.